Good morning, sixth grade ELA. Welcome to Tuesday, November the 17th. We're almost at hump day, guys. So hang in there as we try to finish off this week strong. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and go over your to-do list. So we're going to cover quite a bit today. Okay, so starting off with you're revising and editing. There's still a couple of you that still need to take that revise and edit test. Here's the code. Remember, I've reached out to you and I've sent you guys messages, so I will do that again if I need to. Also, I want to remind you that we are going to be continuing our mentor sentence practice for Tuesday. Remember, that is in your folder and the whole week is there, but we are going to be covering Tuesday. Yesterday was on subject and predicates, so be sure that you are reviewing that. Also today for number 3, we are going to continue working on our author's point of view and author's purpose. It's a mini lesson that we're going to be discussing, and I'll show that to you in a minute. And then we have our novel study, guys. We're wrapping up our A Wrinkle in Time novel. So chapter 12, many of you are done already with chapter 12, so kudos to you. I know the rest of you are right behind them. So I want to remind you that in your digital binder, you do have your chapter 12 assignments, which I'll open up, including your vocabulary. And then you have your wrap-up activity, which is your comic strip, and I'll show that to you in a second. And please be mindful that the binder, you want to make sure you turn that in by Friday the 20th at 4 o'clock. Okay, and then we're going to move on to our informational writing activity, what your choice was from the choice board. We're going to be working on Arms and Cups conferences, which is about revising and editing. So like many of you have your paragraphs already done, you have already put in your transition words that we worked on yesterday. So now today it's all about just tweaking it, polishing it up, and getting it ready to turn in. All right, so let's go ahead and open up your folder. Let me come on into Tuesday. So here you have your author's purpose and point of view activity. So you're going to want to make sure you go through this, our author's purpose. And there's some really good information in here for you to review as we are continuing to review our the reason why authors write. So you want to go through each of the slides. Please do not skip any of the slides, okay? So the purpose is, why did the author include the information the article or the text piece was written about? You want to know the why. Okay, so things to consider is, why does this article or this piece of information, what does it add to the article that nothing else does? And think about the how. How is this information unique? So think about that. And then here you have a sample, some questions from the test. All right, so you're going to read this chunk, this little excerpt, and here you have a sample question. Okay, so you want to go over that. And as you come on to number 5, we're going to read a passage and we're going to answer the question. So this is some practice for you. So please pay attention to the arrows, pay attention to what is boxed in. Okay, so looking at the title, it should tell you already how the author feels about the topic. Wildlife should be wild. So as you read this excerpt, you want to pay attention to this text box information is, what's the purpose of paragraph 2? So you want to make sure you read that. And then you come on to the ending part of your article, and you're paying attention to the highlighted parts. This is paragraph 5. Why does the author include this paragraph? So think about that. And then over here in yellow this is paragraph 6. Why does the author include the story of Maggie the elephant? So as you're reading those questions, go back into your article and look for text evidence to support your answer. And here are some questions that you're going to need to go through. And looking at question 1, which statement best describes the author's overall purpose in the article? Overall purpose. So when you're breaking down that question, let's look at some key words. The author's overall purpose. The second question is, why did the author include paragraph 2? So you want to go back to paragraph 2, right over here in the blue, reread that so that you can adequately answer the question, okay? So through a process of elimination, is it to explain, to describe, or is it to show, or is it to explain something else? So there's two answers with explain. So that kind of, take that into consideration. So through process of elimination, again, go back and read paragraph 2. Okay. The third question relates to why does the author include the story of Maggie the elephant in paragraph 6? So looking at the questions, the answers, you have to make, to show, to entertain, or to show how. So looking at how those answers start, always take into consideration the purpose of the article. Okay. So as you're going through these questions, you again, through process of elimination, look at the keywords, not just in the question, but in the answers. Okay. So this is going to be your mini lesson on author's purpose and author's point of view. Okay. So let's come on back over here to your folder. And here we have our mentor sentences. So you're going to want to click on that and open this up, and you're going to come to Tuesday. So we worked on Monday, which was subject and predicate. You guys did a great job on that, by the way. So be sure you are reviewing. So we're kind of slowing down a little bit just to kind of go back to basics and make sure that you really have these fundamentals down to a T. So it's Taco Tuesday today, guys. Taco Tuesday, right? How many of you had any tacos for breakfast? Okay, so we're going to talk about sentence fragments. So when you pull this up, it says some of the groups of words below are fragments, while others are complete sentences. Write an F if the group of words is a fragment. Write an S if the group of words is a sentence. If the group of words is a sentence, then retype it correctly in the purple table by adding capital letters and correct punctuation. So you're going to be reading these sentences. Some of them, again, are fragments, and you want to make sure that you put an F or an S. Okay, so please read those carefully. So that is going to be your mentor sentence practice for today, sentence or fragment. So remember, fragments are like little incomplete sentences. They're not complete, so they leave you hanging. Okay, so we're going to move on to go back to your folder, and let's go ahead and talk about your digital binder for this week. Went ahead and I moved that down for you. So remember, you do have your comic strip wrap-up activity, and that's going to be due Friday, and that's going to be for a formative grade. You need to make sure that you turn in your binder so this activity can be graded. You want to be creative, and you're going to write some brief descriptions of the pictures that you copied and pasted in the boxes, and I'll show you that in a minute. And then you're going to want to definitely give a small explanation of your picture. So let's take a look at what you need to make sure you are completing, not only in class when I give you time, but you want to try to really work on this a little bit at home. I know you guys have a lot of work from other classes, but you want to carve out a little bit of time for this. Okay, so we're going to keep on moving down here. Again, here's a reminder of the due dates of your binder. And let's roll into our questions for chapter 12. Now, Wednesday, we'll do our chapter chat. I want to give everybody a chance to finish. However, I know some of you have already done this, so thank you for that. But the rest of you, you don't have to necessarily have finished chapter 12 to complete the quick write and your opinion writing. So your quick write question is, what do you think it means to love? Do you think love is powerful? How so? So I want you to think about the character Meg when you're answering this, and all of the challenges that she faced. So think about that. And then your opinion writing here at the bottom is, do you dislike or do you like the ending of the story? Explain your opinion. If you dislike it, what would you change about it? So remember, the intention, guys, is that you fill up all of the lines on these questions. And then, of course, your vocabulary that we went over: formidably, dwindled, illumination, and revolting. For this last chapter, your vocabulary is asking you to fill in the blanks. And then, of course, you have some true and false. Now, the true and false, you definitely would need to finish the chapter to answer those correctly. So let's get that done. Okay, moving on. Again, here are your vocabulary words for chapter 12, the 4 words I just read to you. And you want to make sure also that you are completing the main events for chapter 12. Remember, we're talking about what happened first, what happened next, and what happened at the end of chapter 12. And then right down here in this space, the requirement is to go ahead and find an image, Google an image that you think best illustrates the chapter. So how do you see chapter 12? Find an image and let's see what you come up with. Okay, so finally, here's your wrap up activity for the novel. A couple of you have been reading some graphic novels, which are like in comic strip form, which I think is really cool. So I thought, this is a really neat little idea and a way to kind of sum up A Wrinkle in Time. So you'll notice you have 6 boxes, and we're going to allow 2 images for the beginning, 2 images for the middle of the novel, and 2 for the ending. So you want to look for some images online that reflect the beginning, the middle, and the end. And then in these text boxes right here, you're going to type your explanation of each of the images as they relate to the beginning, the middle, and the end. So be sure you incorporate complete sentences. Be sure you are revising and editing. This activity will be for a formative grade. And you'll need to turn in the binder at the end of the week. Okay, so I want you guys to leave school on Friday without having to worry about turning anything to Miss Ulrey, so you can enjoy your week off as well. You've been working really hard, guys. Very proud of you. So many of you have been emailing me and reaching out and asking questions, so I appreciate that. Please don't forget, if you have any questions on today's assignment, you can email me. You can log on live and ask me questions. And you can also definitely, if you're in class, of course, I have you here. So do not hesitate to let me know how I can help you. Okay, guys, so that's it for Tuesday. If you have any questions over the assignment, please email me, get a hold of me. Have a good Tuesday. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.